Hey everyone, today I'd like to show you how to deploy Waku on Akash Network. It is basically an open, decentralized compute marketplace or cloud, and they allow you to run containers, like Docker containers, on Kubernetes provided by various set of providers all around the world, paid in their own token, in a completely decentralized way based on blockchain interactions. So what do we have here is an updated templates for deploying Waku on top of Akash. You can find the deployment templates in awesome Akash repo, and then under the Waku folder. There is a README, what is Waku, who is it for, and how to deploy, which this is important because you will need to have a Sepolia RPC URL that you need to provide to your deployment for RLN, the rate limiting technology we use to work. And then you will need to update your deployment with an IP address provided by Akash once the deployment is available at the provider's cluster. But we'll take a look at that. If you want to publish messages, not only relay, you will need to obtain RLN credentials. There is a how-to in our Waku Compose repo, which uses the same container images, the same Docker images as this deployment on top of Akash. There is a bunch more configuration options and a bunch more information. I'll let you read it at your own discretion whenever you have time or need. So you can deploy on Akash Network multiple ways. You can use CLI. They have very bare CLI, which I would not recommend. They also have some CLI booster package or set of scripts that help a lot. But for simplicity and we're recording a video, so it's gonna look nicer. You can use this console that they provide under deploy.cloudmods.io. So you connect your wallet where you have some Akash tokens, and then all you need to do is to click deploy, right? And we can search the marketplace because we have Waku in that awesome Akash repo. So we can search for Waku, click it, and then we have the README again, so we can read it if we need to. If we just want to deploy, you can click the deploy button. And then you have this manifest that's coming from that awesome Akash repo. So we are using Nwaku, and the latest version 0.26 at the time of recording of this video. We are asking Akash to give us a public IP, and then we are exposing some ports for that IP address. We need to configure this. So just to have some URL there, which is actually an RPC, but it will not probably work very well because I'm gonna hit some rate limiting soon, but I don't want the node to be crashing. I just want to show you that it's running. I'm gonna provide this public URL, public RPC URL for Sepolia. We have some variables for Postgres because that's our database of choice for store protocol. I would definitely recommend to change the password, but I'm gonna keep it here because I'm gonna close the deployment anyway. As I mentioned, there are some additional configuration options which you should explore and maybe use and configure, but I'm gonna leave them out. Then we have the run script. It does a lot of things for you, which is also happening in Waku Compose, and which you would potentially have to do, like figure out your certificates if you ran Waku locally without any support from the Waku Compose or this template. A bunch of configuration happening there, and then we have the actual execution of Waku node with all the arguments that are necessary. We also have the definition of the Postgres service or the Postgres database. There is another mention of the password, so please change that as well. And then we have some resources that we are requesting from the provider cluster. Okay, I think this is good enough. So basically, the only thing we did is provide the RPC URL, and then we can click create deployment. Now this will bring out this model window. I will bump this up just for the sake of being sure that I will get some bits from the providers, but it doesn't mean that it will take 1.5 tokens. It just means that that's what I'm looking for this instance to run for a while. I'm going to sign the transaction or approve the transaction. Now it's being broadcasted, which you cannot see below my picture. Transaction was a success. I'm awaiting bids. So the providers in the network will give you some price estimations for how much you're going to pay per month. You can also see where they are located, where the actual machines are located, what's their uptime, who is the provider actually, and whether they are audited. So like, does the network trust them or not? So I'm gonna select this one because this is Europe and I'm in Europe, so that's closer to me. I'm gonna accept the bid. There's another transaction involved, basically saying yes, I want to deploy on this particular provider for this amount of money, and then this amount is locked and taken away every, I don't know how they are built, every second, every minute. The provider gets a cut for running my service. I can close the service, close the deployment at any time, or redeploy or do some changes. Okay, so what we need now is we can take a look at the logs, and we can see here in the node logs that you need to provide an IP lease to this. So we go to leases, section leases tab, and we see the IP with all the ports. So we're gonna just copy the IP address. We're gonna update the deployment. Scroll down, go to IP address, paste in, and update the deployment. This will basically tell Waku node that this is the IP address and this is what it should broadcast so that others can connect to it. That's it. That's why we need to do it. If we could have a different way, and there are options that we are exploring, how we can skip this step, but right now this is necessary. We need to wait for the container to be restarted because right now it just got the new version of the manifest, the updated one, and we need to wait for it to be restarted. We can go to the logs and check off the Postgres, see if anything is happening. No, not yet. It takes sometimes a couple seconds, sometimes maybe a minute. Yeah, it's happening now. We can see that it's creating new containers, so we can go back to the logs and check what logs we are getting. Okay, so we're subscribing to all the pub subtopics and mounting RLN, and the node is requesting the information from the chain. It did not get, it realized, sorry, it got all the information, and it realized that it does not have the latest state from the blockchain, so now it's synchronizing. This is gonna take up to 20 minutes. We have a PR that is gonna fix this, hopefully coming in soon. But right now we would have to wait for like 20 minutes for this to happen. But then if you need to take a look at whether the node works, you can go to this URL /metrics. So the IP address that is leased to you, and 8003 is the port /metrics. And then once the node is up, you will see the actual metrics there. And that's it. Now we have a node running on Akash Network, so in a decentralized, permissionless way, and we can enjoy supporting the Waku network. Thank you for watching. Let us know if anything doesn't work or if anything is not clear, and we will be ready at your service to help and fix it. Have a good one.